Own a Chevy truck that doesn't start when you turn the key? Watch this video. So I'm gonna go through this truck and go through the whole thing so we can get it started. Trust me, I'm a mechanic. All right, 2006 Cat Eye, and it won't start. So we're gonna have to fool with it here, and we're stuck working in the gravel. Cat Eye, Chevrolet. 4.8, 5.3, 6.0, Vortec. All right, so I got this thing all taken apart now. So if you turn the key and it doesn't start, we're gonna start at the steering wheel up here. So we're gonna go right down here. Under here, the starter switch goes right up in there. I got it right here and I got it apart. So I'm taking a look at it. It's got these copper contactors in here, and then it's got these ones on this side, and it turns this little wheel right here when you turn it all the way over, and that's what engages the starter and starts it. So it's like electrical chain here. Start at the steering wheel, come up to the fuse box, and then down to the starter. So one of those things is gonna be bad, and that's why when you turn the key, it doesn't start. So the problem we're talking about right here is you go and turn the key like that, and it doesn't start. So the dash will light up, turn the key, and it doesn't start. No matter what you do, it won't start. You know, it won't click over, won't click at all, really won't click. You got a problem. We got to diagnose it, trace it back, find it out. All right, so there can be a problem with these trucks where the VATS system, vehicle anti-theft system, I know, right? It won't let the truck start, so that's not what we're dealing with here. It seems like it's an electrical problem. If you have a VATS problem, it's gonna show up on the dash, it's gonna light up. Security. You get the security light on there, and then you have to solve that a different way. This isn't that problem, thankfully. You can swap this barrel out easy. You can swap that out all day long, doesn't matter. And then you can swap the switch out down in here all day long, doesn't matter. You know, it's got that resistor and the wiring harness here. It causes all the problems with the VATS. So this doesn't appear to be that problem, because we would see VATS security light on the dash just like this right here. It's not doing that. We got something where we're not getting continuity down to the starter. So it's this top little copper finger right there, the one that's sticking up right there. And then it goes down to this very bottom pin down in there. And when you turn the key, it's what makes contact. So I've been testing it here. I got it set up, and we're gonna turn this little cog wheel here, and we're gonna see, yep, we got continuity between the little finger and that pin. So, you know, when we turn it, it closes the contact just like that. See, very difficult to do by hand, but that's what it's doing when it turns the key. See it? Touches that little finger right there to the pin, and it closes the contact. This is good. It's not bad. We need to move on. So if you got a really old one, I replaced this not long ago, but they get burned up under here. You can get in there with a little piece of sandpaper underneath there, get the contacts cleaned up. Now these little teeth can break too, get worn out. If they do, you'll see it immediately, and you know. And when you replace it, it has to be indexed properly. So to engage, you know, if it's like that, when you stick it back in there, take the old one out, and it's not matched up to the old one, when you put it in there, it won't turn all the way. So when you replace it, you know, if you just get a new one, this one's bad, you got to make sure you watch that cog wheel, make sure it's matched up to the old one. So when you stab it up in there, stick it up in there, it'll work right, you know, it'll turn all the way over, and then you can get it started. So you're gonna wanna start up at the steering wheel, then work your way to the fuse box, relay box under the hood, then work your way down to the starter and the starter solenoid. You wanna go in that order. That seems to be what works best for diagnosing no start conditions on these trucks. All right, up at the fuse box right here, we have a bunch of relays. Here is the relay for the starter right there, got it popped out. So you can test these with the relay checker. If you go between 85 and 86, you should have resistance, because that is the coil. If those pins, it shows 0, you know, open, it's burned up, swap it out, should be fixed. So I'm touching 85 and 86 together. You can see we have 78 ohms. You know, this relay doesn't appear to be bad. I checked it against another one, reading about 78 ohms, so the relay's good. Here's how the relays work. So these relays get burned up inside here. If you notice right here, the pinout 86 and 85 is what closes. That's the coil. When you turn the key, that provides power right here, and it pulls that little contactor. 30 to 87, see how it's normally open like that? When you apply power to 86 and 85, pulls that contactor closed with magnetic force right there. 30 and 87 flow down to the starter solenoid, and that's what turns the starter motor over. So I get in here some probes on the contacts, 85, 86. There you go, just like that right there. Doesn't matter, red or black. But when you turn the key, you're gonna see power right here. If you've got good power flowing through there, there's nothing wrong with the ignition switch. And then right there, 30 to ground right here should have power just sitting there from the battery waiting for you to turn the key, and it does. Right here the battery's a little low, but it should read, you know, about 12 volts, 13 volts. That power is sitting right there so that when we turn the key, closes the contacts and it turns the motor over. Now when you put these relays in there, make sure, see how they're all upside down like that? You got to make sure the pin out right here matches the schematic right here. Starter, it's this one right here. You got to make sure it matches when you put it back so they're the same. Put them in upside down just like that. See? So I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really have problems with the fuses and the fuse boxes on these trucks. They're built really well. They normally aren't bad. It's either the starter or that switch under the steering wheel. That thing goes bad too. So, you know, you mess with it enough, it's gonna drain the battery. You got a jump starter on here, jump pack, get it jumped. So if it isn't up here in the relays and it isn't in the steering wheel, bad news is you gotta get on the truck, take the starter motor off because it's the starter solenoid down in there. So this isn't a starter swap video, but what you're gonna do is you're gonna get down in there after disconnecting the battery, disconnect the 2 bolts from the bottom of the engine, unbolt them, and then get in there, take the old starter out. It's got like 3 different wires on there. Get your new starter, bolt it back up, reconnect everything, and then you're good to go. It's not hard to do. Once you get the old starter down to where you can get to the connections on top, you'll be all right. It's an easy job. All right, to test them, we got a battery right here. We got 2 starters right here. So you hook up the positive to this terminal right here. The one that goes down into the starter motor right there is left disconnected. Then we got a jumper on the positive right here, and we're gonna tap it right up here on top of the solenoid. So click it, and it's not spinning. Click it, and it's not spinning. So this is bad. This starter solenoid is bad. Watch it right here. Nothing. Nothing at all. Try to rebuild it. It's one solid unit. Better off just swapping the whole thing. All right, here's the good starter. Same thing right there. That positive lead, we're gonna tap it. Oh yeah, look at that. That thing went wild. Put my foot on it here. Touch it. Touch it right here. Watch the bend dick. Oh yeah, this starter is good. So that's how you test them, quick and easy. There we go, we got that old broken starter out of there, and we got the new starter installed. Let's see if this thing will crank. All right, now we went through everything. Let's see if it starts up. There we go, let's crank it. Yes, sir, right away. Oh yeah, it's running good now. Got that starter replaced all the way down in there, no problems. It's running smooth. Started right up. This is fixed. So we got lucky on this one. It was the starter, we got it swapped out. We're good to go now. You know, you can just swap parts, swap a relay, swap a starter. It's not that hard to do if you don't really want to diagnose it. Technically, the right way is to check the voltages everywhere from turning the key all the way back down to the starter. You know, but if the starter clicks, click, 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 nothing happens, you know, that's pretty big clue that the starter's bad. All right, that's it for the video. We got in here, got this truck fixed up. Now it starts. First crank, turn the key, starts up. We don't have to worry about it. We know we're good at the steering wheel. We know we're good at the fuse box, and we know we're good down at the starter motor. Check y'all in the next video. Don't forget to drop me a huge thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe for more Chevy truck tip videos in the future. Later.